Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome to another beer review. What else would it be? Wouldn't be anything else. Not at the moment, anyway. Um, Welcome to another beer review. Now, there I was in Tesco's at a loose end. A loose end because I was picked up a couple of beers and I thought, oh, got a little bit of change in the pocket. What shall I go for? And I saw these three beers at the end of the ales, and they were really cheap and yeah, well, relatively cheap. They were only about a quid, pound 20, something like that. And I thought myself, you know what? I haven't tried this for a long time. I mean, I just looked up the last time I reviewed this. It was from the bottle and it was 5.2%. And I thought, well, there's three of them. Let's pick them up. So I'll show you what I picked up. I picked up these pint cans of Hobgoblin Session IPA Gold Beer and the Ruby Beer, which I'm going to do for you now. I was going to do all three of them together, but I thought, but then I thought, nah, let's just do them singularly. And you know, the 568ml cans, let's do them singly and see what we get out of them. So these two here will be coming up on the channel after I come back from Croatia. This might even come up on the channel after I've come back from Croatia. Beer reviews are a bit of a mess at the moment. The place is a bit of a mess. It always is before we go away. It's got like empty case, clothes strung everywhere. So you might get this before I go away, or you might get it after. So we got Hobgoblin Ruby Beer, pint can, and it is clocking in at 4.5% ABV. There you go. And like I say, last time I did it was 5.2. It says a liquid legend. The ruby red. This ruby red gem is an epic blend of hops. Expect delicious toffee flavours. Full-bodied finish of figs, raisins and dates. It's mercilessly Moorish. It's so consider yourself warned. So there you go. First of all, what I think of the artwork, well, it's nowhere near as good as the original Hobgoblin artwork. And there is something else which is omitted from the can entirely. I'm just looking, just in case I don't make a fool out of myself, which I'm pretty good at doing. There's no Witchwood name on that can whatsoever, which is very, very sad, but we know why. Of course, Marston's bought the bugger. And it says brewed and canned by Carlsberg and Marston's Brewing Company, based in Wolverhampton. That was a really shit Midlands. That was a really shit Midlands accent. I do apologise. So let's just crack this open. To be honest, what am I expecting? Not a lot, but I haven't had this for a very long time. So it's 4.5, a lot weaker than the last time I had it. So what are we getting? Well, there is a slight toffee note there on the aroma. It smells slightly metallic. So let's pour this out. Now, I was a member of a Witchwood Appreciation Society on Facebook. And I got absolutely slaughtered once by them because I accidentally, well, I didn't accidentally, I'll just say the truth, say what I think. I kind of like basically had an Hobgoblin, I don't know what one it was, and I said it was shit. And they didn't like it. They didn't like it. In fact, this lot, they got really personal. And you think, well, come on, I don't mind getting criticism if it's on to do with what I do here. But when you take it personally, then it's a bit of thing. And I got kicked out of it. And I thought, you bunch of arseholes. So, I'm going to, I thought I'd say that because, there's some people out there who think this is the greatest beer of all time. Give yourself a fucking wobble. It isn't the greatest beer of all time. You just blinkered. So, ruby in colour. Yes. Lots of carbonation. Yes. Ivory looking head. It doesn't look that bad a pint. I'll be honest. It looks okay. Okay? Let's get a whiff. Toffee. And there's a metallicness. You can smell metallicness, which is an alarming aroma, to be honest. You can smell the copper. You can smell like you're rubbing brass. Cheers. $4.5. You notice something? I'm topping it up. This might not go down the toilet. I don't think it will. But it's far from perfect, believe you me. How's it going? Bearing in mind this is my first beer of the day. You do get an essence of toffee in the taste. Slight berryness for me. Then it starts to thin out in the mouth. It starts to thin out after them initial taste notes. And you can tell the beer is 4.5. Towards the back, that is what I don't like. That's when you get this bitterness coming through. But the bitterness is metallic bitterness. It's like you've gone round your grandma's and she's got all these brass ornaments on the fireplace. Instead of, rubbing them and making them look nice, you've gone round and licked them all with your tongue. That's what it feels like to me. You're going around licking brass ornaments with your tongue. So, yeah, it's far from great. Is it terrible? I've had some proper stinkers, I'll be honest, lately, because I'm doing the supermarket rounds at the moment. This is what beer reviewers do, They do a supermarket round when the new stuff comes out, and I'm being a bit of a whore with it this time, because I've actually gone out and done the supermarket round. Instead of concentrating on craft beer from your local bottle shop, shall I say. Coming to this, where do I stand with it? Well, it's not great. To be honest, it's not great. It's not great. As I'm going in more, that metallicness is coming through a little bit more, and a hint of pepper on that back end. So where do I sit with it? It's not fucking great, and it's not terrible. It's somewhere in the middle. I suppose it's one of them where you can go and just pick a couple up and drink without thinking about, and I think that's the key to this beer. You can just pick it up and drink it and not really think about what you're drinking, and it's pretty unremarkable stuff. I remember it being such a good beer, having such a big impression on me, being a gateway beer to beer drinking. This and a couple of Shepherd Neame buns, Bishop's Finger and Spitfire. These are the beers that will draw you into getting the taste for the stuff. So it has its place. And I suppose it still has its place, but I'll say with the onset of craft beer in the supermarkets, it will be struggling. It will be struggling. It's really putting it. If it's successful at the moment, it's down to brand loyalty more than anything. With like a lot of old label of beers. Will this still be around in 10, 20 years' time? I couldn't tell you if it would or not. So, yeah, it's a nice little trip down memory lane. It's nowhere near as good as what it used to be. And saying that, it wasn't that good in the first place, to be honest. It was, drinkable stuff, It's not the greatest beer in the world to some. Definitely just give yourself a wobble and look what else is on the shelf to the people who just drink it all the time. So for me, Give it a go. It's cheap enough. You know, the term cheap and cheerful should go together. It's not cheerful. It's just cheap. There you go. Hobgoblin Ruby Beer. Give it a go. Well, you know what it's all about. Unless you've been living in a cave or you haven't been drinking and you just discovered it. Wow. Kiss it, bib bib.